Alicia, very good afternoon to you once again. Good afternoon to our viewers as well. The political party leaders, as you're saying there, Alicia, continuing to arrive here at the ICC ahead of the results announcement in a few minutes by the IEC here in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And as you were saying, Alicia, I now have with me the chairperson of the ANC in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. And without wasting much time, let me speak to him. Mr. Duma, thank you so much. Siboniso Duma, thank you so much, sir, for your time. I can see the disappointment on your face. The results are not what you had hoped to achieve. You ran a very strong, a very intense campaign in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. You knew the stakes were high, but unfortunately it didn't get the results that you had envisaged. Let's first get your comment on the response from the ANC on the results.
Thank you so much, Manjomani, for affording us this opportunity. Let us also greet your viewers at home. I'm sure the first thing first, we want to thank our volunteers, the core volunteers who are not sleeping for the last 3 months, running for the 40 extensive days in ensuring that we increase audit in every household. Let us also thank different stakeholders, the Board of Christ, our funders who were also supporting our ideology, we are understanding and are supporting our vision. And we want to thank almost every voter who participated in this, the democracy that was fought for, the dispensation that was brought about by the Nelson Mandela's processes and the ANC of today.
In terms of the results, yes, you're grateful for those that have come out and they've voted, but it's not what you had envisaged. What went wrong?
I think there are different variables. Lately, the SG has already started the process this morning. I'm sure you saw what he presented. We agree fully with his presentation. KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng and Western Cape are the core at the South Africa in terms of the GDP, in terms of the economy. So the reality is that it was going to be contested. It was a contested terrain, and the variables, meaning that the issue of load shedding was going to have a juxtaposition of what we deliver, the issue of water, the lack of service delivery in some instances, but the ANC has delivered. The reality is that even on the day, there were a lot of people who came into our information table. They took our regalia, but they also commented that ANC must do better. It means that we must listen carefully on what transpired from there, because the voters are saying that you are still the liberation movement, you are still the vehicle for hope, but you must change some of the things. I'm sure we have listened to it with humility. We must take that and consolidate a strategy of going back, because we just have to give feedback in some instances. We've got 14 seats in the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal right now. It means that we still have the cohort that is going to be representing the means, the method, the needs of our people. Those people must still represent the ANC as the advanced detachment, because this is the liberation movement that people have still hope, still have hype, and they still believe on it that is going to do the change.
The MK party is what hurt you in this province. Do you feel that you underestimated the impact that Jacob Zuma would have on yourself, particularly knowing that he enjoys a lot of support in his home province?
I don't think we underestimated the impact. We read the research. We were observing almost each and every detail. I think we would have done better in the hindsight. The reality is that the reflection from our people were saying that the ANC, if it could address, there was an issue of transformer in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Remember that we almost fixed all those transformers. The issue of electricity, the load shedding, we ran a clean campaign for the last 63 days. There was no load shedding in South Africa. We thought that was adequate, even in terms of service delivery. So the new formation of the MKP is the reality that it has haunted us. The research showed us that we're going to perform around 43%, which is why we galvanize a strategy of ensuring that we are more visible on the ground. We are giving feedback. We do community meetings. We do almost even MBs at the level of government. So that was the reason behind for ensuring that we come up with that strategy.
I really have, and I don't have much time, unfortunately, Mr. Duma. I have so much to speak to you about in terms of, the issues around traditional leadership, the institution of traditional leadership in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. But let me move here very quickly now. People want to know now, what is the next step? Coalitions. We're going into a coalition in KwaZulu-Natal. That's something that's unavoidable at this point. Have you discussed which party you prefer to work with?
I'm sure you remember very well that the ANC is a unitary organization. I'm sure we must also expatiate on the view, because there is an idea that is coming from corridors that they want to negotiate with the ANC, provided the president of the ANC is going to set aside. As the province of KwaZulu-Natal will never allow such a thing. Comrade President Ramaphosa Matamela has been elected by the conference. We still fully support him because we don't want to disintegrate. We wouldn't want to divide the ANC. And at this point in time, the NEC must start the process. They are going to identify a team. There is an NEC, I'm sure we already heard that. We're only going to have the PC after that NEC because we take a cue from that. The directive of the coalition is a complicated consequence. We must follow the proper projections of what must be done. But we promise the province of KwaZulu-Natal that we are going to serve people on the best that they want. We are going to service them. We will also listen more on what they want going forward.
All right, Mr. Duma, taking from that, I guess MK party is out, so we're left with NFP, EFF, and the Democratic Alliance.
I'm not starting the negotiations. I'm not talking about negotiations. I'm sure you heard that there will be a team that is going to do that on our behalf.
All right, Mr. Duma, thank you so much for your time. Siboniso Duma, the chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal, giving us his reflections, of course, on the results, not what the ANC in this province had envisaged. And I try to push him on who the party will work with to form this new government, and he said that's going to be left up to the National Executive Committee, the national leaders of the party. In the coming days, the ANC will be ready to announce to the people of this province who they would prefer to work with.